That's alrighty. Welcome to the above average baseball show, the King Source. Get going here. We got a lot to talk about, a lot to get through. We'll get to CBA. We'll get to a lot of other things and a big thing. Let's look at the agenda here. Is CBA done yet? No, it is not. I'll answer that question right now. Movement both ways. MLB dropped the brain dead proposals. They're actually negotiating but not getting very far. We'll get into all of that. Comparing Posada, Buster Posey. I'm going to show you stats to show Posada the far better player. That's why I am baffled at calling Posey a lock Hall of Fame, yet Posada can't get any consideration. It is more blatant lies from John Heyman. Should be hearing stuff. Nothing is muted. We'll talk about why they're lies. We'll talk about Paul O'Neill. We'll talk about the shift, whether I think should be banned and what I think should happen. We'll explain the mocking the game rule and the big breaking news. Let me do a check here on the sound before we continue. Amen. Should be hearing stuff. Okay, that was a test. Did you hear that? All right, I think we're good there. Keep political stuff out of this. YouTube does not want it in this. They've been barking at me, so. Is the CBA done yet? No, it is not. I already mentioned that. Not close to done. From what I'm told, I think the first week of the season is gone. At this point, I think we've lost the first week of the season. I cannot help but think this is a distraction. Like baseball is working for somebody, we'll leave it at that, distracting people with the CBA negotiations. Who knows? Move it both ways. They are both kind of seeding, but not the big one. The collective balance tax. That is the big one. What is going to happen with the luxury tax? Remember, the MLBPA wants it at $245 million or higher, the first threshold. The second at $270 or higher. The third at over $300 million. The MLB proposed not even raising the second two, but barely raising the first one. That is going to be the holdup. That could take till the end of March, sadly. I've lost all hope of even baseball in April at this point, until we see something huge. But the MLB did drop the brain dead proposals. They dropped eliminating jobs. They dropped not paying minor leaguers for spring training. I mean, they dropped everything. All those brain dead ones we had talked about. They are actually negotiating now. If you notice that this week, where they'll get the proposal, go back into talk amongst themselves to get back to the actually negotiate. This should have been happening since November. Why wasn't this happening? My goodness. Some more on the CBA. I've got some things from Ken Wilson and Evan Drellich, two main reporters on this. Evan Drellich says, today didn't go well. MLB reacted badly to player proposal. Players, in turn, were outraged. Hostile second meeting. Players moved CBT by the same amount they did last time, $2 million, 3 different years. MLB proposed cutting $1 million off the CBT in 1 year. Dropped first tier of tax from 40 to 45. A little bit of movement, as you can see. So the collective balance tax is moving a little bit. I think it ends up the first threshold somewhere around 230, 235 million. The second somewhere around 265 to 70, and the third around 300 million. I really think that's what's going to end up. MLB dropped its request for arbitration eligibility expansion from 75% of players to 2 to 3 years service time to 35%. MLB doesn't want to expand it at all from current 22%. No charge change to minimum salary or pre-arbitration bonus pool proposals on either side. They want to get rid of, both sides want to get rid of arbitration. That's why there's no change there. On the collective balance tax, players drop $2 million off years 2, 3, 4 of CBA. In other words, it would only go up by $1 million every year instead of the $2 to $4 million. All right. So it would start at 215 instead of 214 on owner's proposal for rates. The first year for the owner or the players, 45, 67, 100 is the tax. The MLB offer was 50. Old CBA was 20. Previous was 75 in the second one. So those are the penalties there. So there is movement there. Then it says MLB last night was attempting to tie the draft proposal The topic had momentum for a time yesterday to a 14-team expanded postseason. They made it clear that it was its position. Players proposed 12 teams in expanded playoffs. Expanded playoffs are coming, guys. That's a lock. Nothing is changing that. The playoffs are expanding. That's agreed to. That is happening. So you have to deal with that. Let me come here. Oh, where did Jeff Passan's stuff go? Let's see here. Need to pull up Jeff Passan's. He had a lot of good information. It was similar to Evan Charles, but he mentioned a few things Evan didn't. Pull that back up. The players are currently considering walking away from the table. Per a principle of their plans made, they felt was a substantive offer and was rejected. Players are furious. That is true. Jim Leyritz now follows me. He was giving me little information. A little, not a lot. And he thinks the players back away and flat out sue the MLB. So, and I've been mentioning it. Pull up what Jeff Passan said right here. MLB's response isn't surprising from the start. It has treated increasing Super 2s from 22% and any changes revenue sharing as non-starters. I hate to say that. I hate that. That needs to change right there. The union's move were not seen by owners as a give. In other words, it was a take. It's what the owners interpreted as. Thus, minimal changes in MLB's counter that included slight CBD penalty reductions. I think the owners are going to use raising the luxury tax as their big bargaining chip. And I think it does go up where the players want it just to get the rest where they want it. So, yeah. So, and also, something I need to mention, and I was warning people about, when the deal does finally happen, it's going to be nasty amongst all the reporters. I might just report it happened and get off the internet for a couple days. It's going to be all out verbal war. And by the way, I was told by one of my main sources that free agency will start 2 to 3 days after it is done. Let me message this one. There we go. So get ready for hectic times once the CBA is complete, once it's agreed to. Justin, I kind of agree with you. I think this season does get shortened to about 125, 120 games as well. I think the owners have screwed that over. And then that's pretty true as well. The players are expanding because they don't want teams to do or die games. So, and Simonetti said as well with the Gardner thing, that will be with another team. He thinks Phillies or Marlins, not the Yankees. That's what Simonetti said. So yeah, the CBA is a big bugaboo. Everybody hates it. I mean, everybody hates the CBA talks. I've never seen CBA talks. I've seen about 20 in my lifetime. Yeah, we've had that many between all four of the big sports. Why is it? Figure this one out. If anybody can answer this question. Why is it the NHL is the only pro league, the NHL, the hockey league, to have never had a lockout or strike? How is that one possible? Can you tell me that one? Please, somebody explain that one. Well, anyways, yeah, we'll watch the next few days. If the deal is not done by the end of the day, Monday, we're talking about 5 p.m. Monday, first week of the season is gone. I have no faith in that. No faith in that, okay? Let's move on here, comparing Jorge Posada to Buster Posey to expose bias in baseball. Let's start out with this. Everybody claims Buster Posey is a great catcher and is a lock for the Hall of Fame. Well, why isn't Jorge Posada? He's got more Gold Gloves, more World Series titles, more Silver Sluggers, etc. Take a look at these. There's the stats. I'll get to that in a minute, Justin, but I agree with you. You look at all these stats. Jorge Posada, more home runs, more hits, more games played. You look at total seasons, Posada only has 3 seasons more, and if you look at his first 2 seasons, they're throwaways. He barely played at all. He was stuck behind Jim Leyritz and Girardi, former Yankee manager. Oh, you're right, Fleming. I forgot about that lockout. Thanks for reminding me, Fleming. You look at this, and I don't see why Posada is not locked for Hall of Fame if Posey is. Posey has done nothing better than Posada. Slightly better average hitter, but doesn't mean anything when Posada's got over 100 more home runs, hundreds more hits, hundreds more walks, less strikeouts, etc. There is... That's right, too. That's right, too. That's why I said that. Everybody has them, but I've never seen one near as bad as this MLB one. This MLB one is the worst of sports history. Don't make any bones about it. So thanks for clarifying, everybody. You've done great for me there. And this one earns something here. Great job, Fleming. See if these two, oh, I got to do this on the other side. Let's get over here. There we go. Got that. Yeah, I'm getting notifications. Now I'm going to keep notifications up just in case information comes in. Let's get back here. Alrighty. So back to Posada and Posey. Posey has 3 titles. Posada has 5. Yes, he was on that 96 team that won. There is nothing that makes Posey better than Jorge Posada. Why is Jorge Posada lock? Jorge Posada is one of the greatest catchers ever. He's in my top 5 greatest catchers ever. You look at his accomplishments. He had a 3,100 season. Posey never did. I think Posey had a 30 home run, but never a 3,100. Looking over here. Posey never even approached 30 home runs. His best was 24 home runs. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Posada should be a lock. I don't trust the writers ever either. I think they need to change voting. So the writers' vote is only about 33% of it. Then you have a 33% fan vote and 33%, which is the current players, all of that vote. I think they need to redo it. So, well, you reminded me, Fleming just earned the moderator back. I had completely forgot about that lockout. So, and I can't add one more moderator now because you see we're at 17 subscribers, so I do need another moderator. They want one for every 5 people in there for some reason. Once you get above 100, I think it stretches out to 25 people. I don't know. It's weird. So, yeah, Posada should be a lock. He should be a straight-up lock. And now we're going to get to what Justin mentioned here. John Heyman is lying again. He said the Yankees were locked to get Freeman. Now, how is that possible? Well, the Yankees never made an offer, yet the Dodgers have a large offer on the table. It'll be 4 to 6 years. It's somewhere around $200 million. I think it's over 6 years. I think Freeman goes to the Dodgers. Buster Olney thinks Freeman goes to the Dodgers. Ken Rosenthal said Freeman's going to the Dodgers. Jeff Passan said Freeman's going to the Dodgers. They're all copying me, by the way. My information gets copied a lot right now. Kind of funny. So, that's one of them. He also said the Yankees are the favorite for Correa. No, they're not. And then he mentioned 10 teams that could be possible for Correa. Go look at the list. Only 2 or 3 on the whole list are possible. I think Correa ends up with the Cubs because the Cubs already have a 8-year, $300 million offer on the table with 2 option years. That's why I got confused with the 2. That would take it at 10 years, $360 million. And they'd be vesting options. You actually playing games and all that to get those to vest. And I just noticed the gaming one. I love doing those games, the board games, everything. I have 2 videos set to post. I might post one later this evening. I have one for Ticket to Ride, one for Catan. Yeah, so. And that is a great point there from Fleming. Heyman is one of the biggest hacks in the game. Heyman is one of the reporters, and I was told this by an MLB exec, who will post anything he is paid to post. Same with all CBS Sports, and you know who another CBS Sports reporter is? Bob Nightingale. I don't know what it is about them. And that's a good point. Philly could be on a Correa as well. They are going to be poking around. They would like a shortstop. I think they'll feel the Trevor Story situation out first, but bear in mind, I was told by 3 different MLB execs, 3, Correa is going to demand the final offers in the first 24 to 36 hours of free agency. So, he'll know his final offers he'll pick within the first week. And yes, that is right. Straight on the money. John Heyman will do whatever he's paid to by Boris and MLB, anybody, even if it's fake. He's one of those reporters that will put lies out there just to start a bidding war. He mentioned the Mets were in on Freeman. They called him to check his demand to see if the dollars would be what they wanted, but do not actually have interest. I was told that by the Mets owner himself. He commented on my tweet and he said, we only wanted to know the price, we're not actually interested. Steve Cohen himself. I don't know if he deleted it now or what, but yeah. So the Mets are not after him. And I agree with that as well. Story and Rizzo to the Yankees. John Heyman was saying the Yankees are going to go stopgap or Correa. No, they're going to get Story. Story's best friend is on the Yankees. He's a longtime Yankees fan, a Derek Jeter fan. He would love to be a Yankee. I think he ends up with the Yankees. I think Rizzo ends up in the Yankees. I think Freeman to L.A., Olsen to the Braves. The Yankees keep Rizzo and they trade, what's his name? Luke Voigt to a first baseman needing team. Hi, Travis. Remember, keep it controlled. Bob Nightingale is the worst reporter in the industry. Yeah, he is bad. Him and John Boy or Heyman. All elite reporters are Passan, Can the King Source, me. I would add Clayfish and Jack Curry in there with elite reporters, but there's only about 5 or 6 of them. And I'm going to get there. I'm moving there quickly. So yeah, and that's the point. Just they are only going after pitching the Mets. And Yosei Kikuchi, you see that one? Joe Sherman said that. I was the first to link them in one of my lives about a month ago. I mentioned Yosei Kikuchi as a Mets target. I wonder how many of you remember that one. So yeah, there's some reporters you don't listen to. John Heyman is so inaccurate when it comes to the Yankees. He used to be really accurate until about 2009. Something flipped. Now he's the most inaccurate, just like Bob Nightingale, all these quacks. So don't pay any attention to them. Here's a real great story that came out this week. Paul O'Neill's number, that's number 21. I don't have it on there. I should have included that on the slide. To be retired. I love this. Paul O'Neill was that great. He hit so many clutch home runs. He did so many great things in that 4 World Series and 5 years run. He was on that team for all of them. At least 3 of the 4, actually. Let's go ahead and check that. Let's do some accuracy checking here. Pull this up. Paul O'Neill stats. And by the way, Paul O'Neill will not be the only one. And yes, he was on there for all 4 World Series, almost 5 in the one of 2001 as well. And I'm going to read off some of these stats. He was always at least 20 home runs with the Yankees. His average was over 20 home runs. It was about 22 home runs. RBIs, he was over 104 times in a row, 97 through 2000. Just dominant hitter. He also batted well over 300 numerous times. Okay? So Paul O'Neill was that good of a player for the Yankees. He had so many clutch hits and home runs. It was dominant. He was just a dominant player for the Yankees. I'm glad his number's retiring. But this goes back to, let's see, what was it? I just lost my train of thought. Goes back to my point. We need to retire jerseys, not numbers. I'm impressed I got that back. Retire the player's jersey, not the numbers. It'll never be reused, but the player's jersey is retired. I do agree with the player approving their number to be used for another player, though. I told you, Travis, got to be careful. We got good admins on this channel now. I think they need to retire the jersey, myself, not the number. Now, I think it's possible. You can just have O'Neill on the back of the jersey with the number on there, and the player approves that the number is used again. That way we can use all these numbers over again. Now, with the ones that have been deceased, maybe the team or franchise approves it only for a specific player type thing. Like Jackson Dominguez, okay, you're this good of a prospect, we'll give you Mickey Mantle's number. He's another great switch hitter type thing. That'd be very specific. Something happened to John Boy in front of his office. I do not know what. I cannot go into it. All I know is something happened. I'll leave it at that. What do I believe LA will do with the starting rotation? I think they make an all-out effort, and I've been told they will, at Luis Castillo and the A's pitchers. Everybody knows the Marlins are not trading pitchers. They think they can compete in the NL East. And yes, that number 21 should have been retired a while ago. So, yeah, I think that's what's going to happen is the Dodgers will go after Luis Castillo, A's pitchers. They will go after free agents. They do want Kershaw back, but will they outbid the Rangers or get outbid by the Rangers? So, moving on, should the shift be banned? I say no, it should be reined in. What should be banned is the 3 true outcome hitting. Players should be made to for at least a 250 average, get those doubles and triples. Now, I agree with Joey Gallo's complaint. You shouldn't have 6 outfielders. You should have no more than 3 outfielders at any time. This isn't softball. You should have no more or less than 4 infielders at any time. Catcher, pitchers, always at their position. I think we do need to rein it in. You do have to play your own position. No putting infielders in outfield, no putting outfielders in infield. I think that is where it's mocking the game. Just moving the shortstop right behind the second base bag or the second baseman, I'm not against that. Okay, you can go the other way there. But when we're moving infielder or outfielders out of their position so much it's mocking the game, that needs to be reined in. That needs to be banned. So I do think we need to rein in shifting, but not ban it completely. Okay? The way I would do it, and I'll get into this in a few minutes, I'll actually show you a graph that will help me out, is players should have a box where their position should line up and have to be in that box at the pitch. That's what I think it should be, is where baseball goes back to where it should be. Everybody likes to talk about the shifts on Ted Williams and Babe Ruth. They are nothing like what we're about to see here. Like that one. There's 5 infielders right there. You see that? There's 1 right by third base, and there are 4 between second and third, only 2 outfielders. That should be banned. That should be illegal. That's just cheating to try to get a player out because you based off metrics. That type of a shift should be illegal. Here's another one. 6 guys to the right, 1 in left. If that's me, I'm bunting it down the third base line, taking the double every at bat. Then most players can't bunt like me. Gallo's not trained to bunt. Most of the big power hitters are not. That should be banned. Here's another one. All 3 outfielders have moved over towards right to right center. That should be banned. And it's weird because it's a right-handed hitter at the plate. See that? Why are they doing that with a right-handed hitter at the plate? That one is confusing to me. Hi, AJ. So, all of these are what should be banned. Here's that graph showing where the player should be. Yeah, that's actually a great point. The Rays, Dodgers, and Giants are very heavily reliant on the 3 true outcomes. They all have at least 3 of those. The Yankees only have 2 right now. 2. So they're better positioned than them. So what I think should happen is you train these guys to hit the ball the other way, to take advantage of the shift. Look at this graph. All those should have a box. And for second and shortstop, it'd be right at the second base bag, right at the middle of the diamond where they can move to, then halfway between second and third. The first base there and everything, where they have their box they have to be in. Where you can shift, but it's not the ridiculous illegal stuff. It's not the stuff that's so outside the box that it's mocking the game and really hurting the game. Okay? It's the bad stuff. It needs to be reined in, not banned. Okay? So we go back up, we look at these, and you can just see, these are ridiculous. This isn't shifting. This is mocking the game. This is cheating. This is cheating. Now getting back to Tampa Bay and the Giants. They are both proven to have been using pine tar and PEDs with their pitching. Notice the Giants and Rays pitching started to get a lot worse after the sticky substance ban. A lot worse. The Rays team ERA went from, I think, about 3.50 to over 4. The Giants went from around 2 to all the way over 4. They both skyrocketed. Neither did much of anything in the playoffs. Rays didn't even get to the World Series. They got thumped. I think it was by the Astros, remember right. So, yeah, they're a little fishy. About to get that one removed, and I won't be one doing it. At the same time, all these teams died by the true ones. Yeah. And also, yeah, Tyler Matzik striking out the side was a little weird. It was a little weird. Yeah. So you live and die by it. That's why I think the Yankees with 2 is about perfect. If they add a guy back like Rizzo, who is not, he's a good high average hitter, and Story, 2 high average hitters, you add that into the lineup. You have Story about 5th or 6th in the lineup. Rizzo 2nd. Then you have DJ Rizzo, 2 high ones. It's, yeah. Yeah, LA did. All the Dodgers needed was 1 run there, and they probably get by the Giants and into NLCS and really start a deep playoff run. But yeah, they choked. So I think the Yankees are set up better than these others if they can get Story and Rizzo. And another one is Suzuki. Yankees are going to try for Suzuki, Seiya Suzuki, even though it's believed he wants West Coast only. Yankees going to give their best shot. I still think the Mariners, Padres, Giants, or Athletics end up with him. Dodgers aren't expected to make a big run at him, or I'd include them as well. But Yankees are going to try for him. So, yeah, these shifts, all of these are just ridiculous shifts that should be banned. And I still don't get that one. Why are all 3 outfielders over to center, right center with a right-handed hitter up? If I'm not a right-handed hitter, I'm just poking it straight away left and running to third base, basically. That's just ridiculous. So moving on, did you see the breaking news earlier this week? Yes, I'm in negotiations with ESPN. Thanks for confirming, really. All I heard is something happened there. I did not hear much on it. Now, what happened here is I was told by some that were helping me that ESPN was interested in having me be part of Baseball Tonight. And then ESPN themselves contacted me, and it is early negotiations. This type of negotiations could take a year, believe it or not. It could happen real quick or take a year. I don't know which. Where it's at right now, it's probably going to take a few weeks before I know anything else. I can't go into any details or anything right now, but I've been negotiating with ESPN about joining Baseball Tonight with my own 5 to 7 minute segment called The King's Corner. We'll see what fully comes out with that. A few big-time reporters. You'd be stunned if you knew who they were. submitted me for it, and some MLB execs submitted me for it. So we'll see what happens. They like my demeanor. They like how I do it. We'll have a lot better backgrounds on that than here. I have a better background today, but yeah. Let's get to the last notes. How does the Yankees feel at their rotations? As now see them as fourth best team in the AL East. Yankees are third best at worst. Remember, all three of the other AL East teams got worse. The Jays lost Robbie Ray and Marcus Semien, and they've done nothing to replace Semien. I'd love to do it with Passan, only Jesse Rogers, any of them, on my King's Corner. I'd allow all of them on there. And if Passan wanted to, I would do every week with him. That'd be a lot of fun. That comment's getting removed. Won't be by me. But yeah, getting back to the Yankees. The Jays lost two big players. They brought in a pitcher, Gausman, who I think was a fluke. Remember, the Giants are busted with pine tar. I think Gausman gets shelled in the AL, just like he did with the Orioles. Yeah, he was an Oriole. He was in the AL East before. I think he gets shelled. So, yeah. Blue Jays got worse, a lot worse. And you remove a bat for the Blue Jays, about a 330-something, 45 home runs, etc. Ray is a left-handed pitcher. Gausman is not. Gausman gives up a lot of hits to right-handed hitters. Having a left-handed pitcher behind Stroman, or not Stroman, what's his name? Barrios, is a weapon. Back-to-back right-handers, you don't have to adjust. They're about the same pitcher. They have about the same stuff. So that second one, you're going to knock around. So I do think Gausman is a downgrade. No updates on Joe McFly at all. I know what you're asking there. No. I have nothing. I've talked to him a few times lately, but I haven't gotten any updates there. So the Blue Jays downgraded. The Red Sox, they've lost about 5 players. Only thing they did really was trade to get Jackie Bradley Jr. back. And I have been reporting on him. I've got several tweets out on him. And talking Jake, stealing my reports. Did you see that one? He did a whole video on my report and never gave me credit. Kind of funny. But yeah, the Red Sox lost a lot. The Rays traded away the only hitter that really raked against the Yankees outside of Meadows and Waddle. Or whatever name. Not Waddle. What is his name? No, it's a W. Wendell. Joey Wendell. Got it. My brain's getting a little better. I'm impressed. But they traded him away. He batted over 500 against the Yankees the last 2 years. No other Ray hit over 400. I think the next one was about 387 by Austin Meadows. And by the way, the Rays getting ready to trade Austin Meadows. The Yankees are extremely interested, but my sources say they don't think the Rays will trade that kind of a player to the Yankees. I don't think the Yankees would trade the package it would take to a division rival like that just to get one player. I really don't. And I need to check on that message. I just want to see what it is. Oh yeah, I've done that before. I'm told the Forex commodity market's going to come back, storming back. That's what that is. Just clearing out some stuff because I need to keep things open. And that's another one I wanted to talk about. A complete list, and I shared it on my Twitter if you want to go see it. A complete list of MLB history of all players to finish their career at least 3,000 hits, 250 home runs, 350 stolen bases, and 1,300 RBIs. It's only one player. Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter. Only player to pull that off. Not even Barry Bonds pulled that one off. How weird is that? So that's how great Derek Jeter was. Judge, yes. Judge is getting extended. I was told expect something in the 8 years range. Remove that comment. This isn't football. But I've heard Judge will get something in the 8-year range around $280 million. If you're good at math, you know that's over $30 million a year. It's about $35 million a year, for being exact, being as close as we can to that. I wouldn't be surprised it's 240, because that's $30 million a year. It's 240. So somewhere in there is what I've been told Judge will end up with. And what we have seen is negotiations. The Yankees never planned on letting Judge walk. They'd make every effort to trade Stanton, talking me to waiving that no trade clause, than letting Judge walk. I was straight up told that. As far as Brett Gardner goes, the latest information I have on him, rival execs think he will end up with the Phillies or the Marlins on a 2-year deal and then retire. And they think he'll retire after 1 year, actually. So that's what rival execs believe. And one who does a lot of trading with the Yankees, very good relationship with Cashman, said the whole Yankees front office against bringing Gardner back. He was that bad last year. They felt he was that much of a deterrent. They could not bring him back, and they've already signed his replacement, Ender Inciarte, 4-time Gold Glover. He's batted over 300 once. His knock has always been his bat with Ender Inciarte. I'm going to pull up his stat line. Okay, that's weird. Oh, okay, got a little backwards. There we go. Use Baseball Reference. They're pretty accurate. He's about the same size as Gardner, but has a lot more power. He's a career 280 bat hitter. Gardner's not. Gardner's now about 250 career hitter. And if you look at Inciarte, 2017 he batted 304, 325 2018, 343. Excuse me, in 2019. So 2017 through 18, all of them. 2021 he batted 316, though just 52 games. 2019 65 games. So the guy he can hit. He can get that average up there. 304, 265, 246. 291, 303 throughout his career. So he bats 280 career. He hasn't had a lot of games the last 3 years to really get that batting average up, to really get going. But he's had a few seasons, 11, 10 home runs. But the Gold Gloves is why the Yankees wanted him. 3 times Gold Glove winner. He was an all-star in 2017 as well. That was his best year, in which he built 11 home runs, 57 RBIs, in the Braves' gigantic stadium, which is not a hitter's park, and 201 hits that year. He could be can't lightning in the bottle type thing. And by the way, he's still young. He's not even 30 yet. Ender Inciarte, excuse me, I'll take that back. He is 31. He's born in 1990, so he'll be 32 in October, at the end of October, so the end of the season. So they could have just got a great player, much younger than Gardner, much faster, and much better base stealer for that matter too. Let's check base stealing. See if it has it on here. Where's stolen bases? Man, doesn't show stolen bases. Well, let's go to somewhere else. Right there. 5 stolen bases when caught stealing 2022. That's 80%. Pull up. Let's see if MLB.com has his career stolen bases. Because he's over 80%. Gardner's around 65 for the career. That's not what I wanted. Career, he has 118 stolen bases. It's not a lot for somebody as fast as he is. But he's only been caught 45 times. So he's an excellent base stealer. He's got those metrics going his way. Suspend Borelli now. Suspend Borelli now, please. Can't bring that crap in here. You bring that kind of crap in here, you get suspended, you get banned. And I've got to make sure this is still going. There we go. Bring up that crap. I did not fake anything with Clint Frazier. That was that Yankees librarian idiot that did that one. So, and here's a Chris Bryant. Where did I hear he'd be heading? 4 teams are expected finalists for him. The Padres, remember the Bryce Harper trade rumors? They want to pair those 2 Las Vegas guys together close to their homes as you can get. There's no MLB team closer than Las Vegas than the Padres. So the Padres, the Cubs are mulling bringing him back, the Phillies, and the Mets. So one of those 4. The Mariners only if they don't get Seiya Suzuki and Story, which there's a chance that then they might go all out for Chris Bryant. So I think it'll be one of those 4 teams for him. So let's go to another 5 minutes. See what questions come in. Stant, Cole, Judge, Story, Rizzo, DJ, all getting paid big bucks. Yeah, but you combine them, they're only about $150 million. So the Yankees have a lot of wiggle room with the other contracts. And you have to remember that a couple of those contracts are coming off after this next season. Judges, but he'll get extended and that. So I'm a black belt Taekwondo karate. Simonetti does different style fighting. So it would be very interesting how that worked out. I don't just fight people to see if I can beat them. I got my training for self-defense, and I do teach ladies and girls self-defense with it as well. Tactics, where they could save themselves. I just got a message here. I need to go check this. here. Give me a second. This is from one of my sources. I just need to see if it's anything to break on the air or not. It is not on that one. Let's check the other one. Okay. Yeah, what they're both saying, both of those ones, is they expect the first week of the season will be canceled Monday. So they expect MLB to make a statement that they're canceling it as a show of force against the MLBPA. The most criminal part about this, the most criminal part, is the MLB could be operating under the old CBA right now. It could easily be operating under the old CBA. Okay? There's no excuse for it not to be. Yes, the Yankees made over $700 million last year. First team ever to do that. Their only team actually made $600 million. They made over $700 million. Hal's profits, listen to this one. His profits were $401 million when all said and done. That's after all expenses. $401 million. He has no excuse not to raise that payroll to about $275, $280 million. Which would be right on par with what the payroll was in 1999, 2000. So yeah, and do not believe the lies. Jeff Passan and other reporters went on a rant this week saying do not believe the lies. Any owner that says he's not making money is out and out lying. The least any owner made, by the way, all profits, after all expenses, in 2021, the absolute least was $101 million. That was Pittsburgh Pirates. The Rays made over $200 million. Any owner that says he's not making money is lying. Out and out lying. I actually have one of those shows in development. That's probably going to be in the middle of summer or after the baseball season before I launch that one. It will not be part of this. It'll be part of one of my other channels. Maybe the YouTube Reviewer, which is my friend's channel, but I work with my friend on that one. It might be on that one. But that is in development. So any owner that says they're not making money is out and out lying. How about the Rockies owner who claims he doesn't have money to run the franchise? He made $287 million last year. That's all profit after expenses. And Jeff Passan and others shared a graph of this. So any owner that says he's not making money is out and out lying. Yeah, they could lift the lockout on the old TBA. Why don't they? There's no rule against it. Other leagues have done it. They did it last time the CBA was in negotiations. NBA did it last time there was in negotiations. NFL did it last time. There's no excuse not to. So one more minute here, then we'll wind this one down. So we'll head to the wrap-up. We talked about a whole bunch of different subjects here. It's been a very fun show. Very fun show. See, anything else I might want to mention here? Let's go check my sources things here to see if there's anything that pops up. And that's a good point there. I retweeted this earlier. It says, the owners can be blinded by cash, money. They forget that the fans pay for the sport. Manfred worries about appeasing the owners too much when all they care about is their franchise. Bad sport equals less money. Commissioner must protect, grow, and do right by the game and everything it works. That is straight up facts. So let's come back here. On Dallin Benton says, might have seen Simon Eddy and Arby ranting about it. Not happening. Not happening. The Red Sox are monitoring all first base options. They're not a threat. They are not a threat. The big thing they might do is trade for Luke Voit. And the Yankees demanded Devers in those trade talks. I don't think that one happens. The Marlins want first base help as well. Voit, possibly their Brewers as well. The buzz around the game is Rizzo will go back to the Yankees, Olsen to the Braves, Freeman to the Dodgers. Then the Yankees will trade Voit because his value would have skyrocketed then because he's a good first base that could hit. So, if you're interested in the Pittsburgh Steelers, we'll go ahead and drop this. The Steelers just tweeted this. They interviewed the following guys, candidates over this past week for their GM position. The Ravens, Joe Horitz. 49ers, Rand Carthen, and Andy Weedle of the Eagles. So there's a little look at what the Steelers are up to. We'll give you that one. All right, let's check over here. There we go. Any other questions? Finance said Woody's twice Nightingale size. Yeah, welcome, Justin Lames. You may end up being a moderator for the chat. You've been really good. When we add it up with enough people in here, you may end up being the next moderator added. It's been a fun show, and remember again, no owner can seriously mention losing money. You go back to the history of baseball. There has never, ever been a season in which an owner actually lost money. That's an out-and-out lie. Even in 2020, the ads, the revenue, still they got profit from it. Might not have been what they wanted, but they got profit. The least any team made in 2020 was $45 million. So that's a great question from Fleming. Everybody knows JD Martinez is a pet user. He tested positive with the Tigers and the Astros. Twice. Everybody knows it. It's a little bit weird. He doesn't show the acne from it and other symptoms of it. And he's expected to opt out of the 2020 season and try to find a team he can make one last title run on, as far as he goes. So this has been the Above Average Baseball with the King Source. Hope you enjoyed it, everybody. Have a great evening.